Let's begin today by queering up South Florida and Florida. Stonewall Pride 2024, the most amazing in South Florida history. As the sun set over Wilton Manors, the city streets came alive with energy and anticipation for the annual Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade and Street Festival. This year's festivities, held on Saturday, June 15th, were more spectacular than ever, featuring an exciting lineup of participants, including more than 100 parade units. And the parade is the star of the show. It really was. This was the first South Florida nighttime parade. Preliminary police estimates reported to Queer News Tonight. More than 55,000 attended the all-day festival and parade. 55,000! If these estimates hold true, the 2024 Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival is the largest event ever held on the famous Wilton Drive, and you were a part of it. The Block Party Festival, with 9 stages, transformed the drive with food, music, and a vibrant vendor marketplace. Endless club parties catered to all interests, ensuring there was something for everyone. The Glow Night Parade began at 8 p.m., which dazzled spectators with illuminated pride floats, vehicles, and walking groups, creating a radiant stream of color and light. The event, covered live by the Happening Out television network on the main stage, offered both locals and visitors a unique opportunity to experience the spirit of Wilton Manors and our LGBTQ+ community. Special guests with stage and parade host Al Ferguson and myself included many highlights. Both the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Dean Trantellis, and Wilton Manors Mayor Scott Newton, that was wearing a really cool boa, were special stage guests. At a moving moment was definitely with Ebony Crispin of AHF talked to us on their mission and especially the Florida AIDS Walk. While on stage, they presented checks to 11 South Florida LGBTQ+ nonprofits in the amount of more than $1.4 million. Major sponsors, including the City of Wilton Manors, AHF, and Prouder Together, all made significant commitments to the LGBTQ+ community that day and throughout the year. The celebration underscored the city's commitment to inclusivity and pride, making it a night to remember.
AHF has helped raise in the LGBT South Florida community $3,424,747.
That's amazing! Our mission is to provide people the kind of healthcare center that every single person deserves, because it is a human right, regardless of their ability to pay. So between our medical providers, our mobile units, our advocacy efforts, we are here to support every single person, every single community.
Thank you for having me as always.
We love you, Debbie.
I'm so thrilled to be back at the best Pride Parade and Festival in the entire United States of America. Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride.
Just the bars, it's not just the restaurants, it's the people that actually are coming to live in Wilton Manors, and some of the projects that are coming up. You can live, work, and play in the city of Wilton Manors, and that makes it more of a family and more of a town than it is a city. And I am so happy to be part of it.
Our police department and our fire department worked round the clock to make sure that people's homes were safe from damage, that no lives were lost. And we learned from our lessons from last year, from April 12th of last year when we had that superstorm that hit our city. But the point is that, here we are coming together, this community, all colors, sizes, shapes, fetishes. I mean, it's here tonight, I'll tell you, ladies.
Hello, Governor DeSantis. Support of the LGBTQ community. The Fort Lauderdale Police made worldwide news this year by selecting a police chief, William Bill Schultz. See that rainbow police car?
I see it.
That is the Wilton Manors Police Department. They are so vital in the gayest place on planet Earth, and so important in making Stonewall Pride a safe experience.
You're one of South Florida's greatest advocates for the LGBTQ+ community. We love you, AHF.
Can you say church? Well, the largest progressive queer church in the world is located right here in Fort Lauderdale. This is Sunshine Cathedral, celebrating the LGBTQ community for more than 50 years. This is our very own Hotspots Happening Out. The largest LGBTQ+ media nonprofit in America is based right here in Wilton Manors, and it features Hotspots magazine, the events programming that includes Stonewall Pride, upcoming Pride Fest, and more than 30 annual events. The group has a nonprofit travel club, and of course Queer News Tonight and the Faye What Show. Hotspots happening out is celebrating 40 years in the LGBTQ plus community in 2024.
Wow. Okay, where do we even begin on this? Let's just start unwrapping the present that was Wilton Manor Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival. What an incredible community event to see over 40,000 people. We said in the story it was close to 50,000 people representing all walks of life, like Dean Trentella said, right? All shapes, sizes, and fetishes, baby. Right? You know, but to see key people in our community, key organizations that we love, right? All represented. A 2-hour parade where, like we said in the story, the parade was the main headliner, right? People kept on asking, like, who's the headliner? Who do you have performing? We had Kevin Aviance that was incredible, right? But he came as one of the Grand Marshals, and he also performed. Tony Lima was also an incredible Grand Marshal, and the beautiful Miss Velvet Lenore that unfortunately was out of town. But, you know, a 2-hour parade that was nonstop, over 100 units. Like I said, yes, Greg with 2 G's, I said units. You know, I was on stage and I was, God, you know, honestly, it's an honor for me to announce the parade. It's an honor from someone that has been one of the 40,000 people on those barricades watching the parade to be on stage and be able to announce and comment on these organizations that I know and love, you know? Or I was like, girl, you got to stop shouting everybody out. I can't, right? Because these are, I know the people. I know her. No, but it's not even just I know them. It's, you know, I mean, Dale, like, I know what their work is. Takes, right? I know that Terry is eating, sleeping, shitting what he does. I know that Edward is doing that. Oh, you know what I mean? So when I see them at the parade, I'm filled with so much joy because it's us. It's us and walking that parade.
And real true pride.
True pride.
Personal pride and community
pride, organizational pride. It was amazing, like you said. So many great organizations out there. I mean, like Starbucks, who have been such a big supporter, such a leader in terms of you know, their healthcare and what they provide to their employees. I mean, it was great to see, you know, organizations who are in the trenches, but then businesses who actually support us as well. It truly was a community event. I absolutely loved it. You know,
to see American Express, to see Chewy out there, Chewy.
JetBlue. And I didn't know what it was going to be, a night parade, glow in the dark type of thing. Who knew?
That's a bold choice. It was a bold choice, but
I think Wilton knocked it out of the park.
First one. I don't know any other.
Well, and especially since we had such a rough week, you know, folks at home, if you don't know, you don't live somewhere in South Florida, or if you don't watch the damn news, right? Because it was everywhere. We got about 20 to 22 inches of rain in different parts down here in South Florida. So what was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was really rough for a lot of people down here, you know? So to see the sheriffs, you know, because Sheriff Tony was out there, Dean Trentellis was out there, all these big figures, the fire department was there. A part of me was kind of like, if something happens right now, they're all here.
Well, the parade was definitely luminous. It was unforgettable. Even the energy at the block party felt different. The mood, I think, was as celebratory as it was defiant. And the swag, I mean, they were giving this stuff out like Narcandy. I mean, they were lining up like kids at a Narcandy store.
Oh, my God.
It was
the spirit.
It was unbelievable.
The city was on display that
day.
It really was on display. That was beautiful to see.
Yes. And I love that they took a chance and did it at night. It was cooler, right? Everybody was out represented.
Not as hot as the sun.
I mean, that's a big thing. It's harder to photograph because if you use flash, you're going to blow out the twinkling lights, but so I'm just thinking as a photographer. But no, it's a great choice, though.
It was great. The dancing was great. I mean, outside of Manor, I got to tell you, the DJs at Manor,
oh my God,
was lit. It was. They were so amazing. Everybody was just vibing.
Everybody was so vibing.
So many people outside of Manor.
So I had to.
The pride was priding.
The pride was priding. I had to give a big shout out to Gary Santis over there at the Manor because I love you, Gary. All right, I've known Gary for 20-something years, right? And so over at Voodoo Days, right? And so you could hear his voice outside a Manor going, okay, everybody, we've got to close the street. We got to open up the streets. Come inside, please. We have AC in here. Oh, my God. And, okay, so I don't want to finish this story without talking about Ebony and talking about AHF, please, because that was such a high point. And that was how me and Al kicked off our broadcast was with Ebony from AHF, who is the biggest ally, like, in life. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that she wasn't gay for, like, the first year I knew her. I had no idea.
I met her husband Friday pretty nice.
And then I met her husband and her kids, and I was like, oh, wow. You know, so she was able to present these incredible organizations, one being Pride Lines, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that moment, Ed.
No, it was great. Honestly, it was great to see the other 10 organizations there standing in solidarity with each other as a community. We're all organizations who, you know, have a platform of fighting against HIV/AIDS and really combating it and preventing it. And so it was just such a monumentous moment where we were presented with these checks, these huge checks to our organizations to support our work. And we are grateful for AHS for matching. They matched, you know, what we raised for the Florida AIDS Walk. So a lot of organizations, you know, who are doing great work raised a lot of significant money that supports our work. And, you know, kudos to Ebony, like you said. She is an ally, an advocate, a lover of our community, really, really supportive. You know, this was a meaningful ceremony. This was great. And what I love most about it, though, is that the organizations, how we work together. Too often there are these competitive like lenses that we take as organizational leaders, but this is an event, Florida AIDS Walk, coming together with Pride and coming together for ceremonies like this is an opportunity for us to come together. And I love that, you know, because we're like at Pride Lines, we don't compete.
Yeah.
We're in this together with everybody. That's my belief. And
I love it.
My leadership.
I love it.
So I love this.
I have to ask Terry because, like, I saw, like, you know, I stalked Terry, like many of you do, right? And I'm watching and he's away, right? And I'm like, Terry's away for Pride? What is going on, right? And then I see this fool there, right? And I'm like, did he teleport, right? How did he do this? Terry, why was it so important for you to make sure that you got off a plane and got your beautiful butt to Pride?
It's my community. I had to be here to make sure that my community saw me, that I represented, that I supported. I have other clients that were here. Like, I had to make sure that people knew, like, just because I was away didn't mean I was going to miss my people, my community. So
I love that. I love that. So if you walked in the parade, or if you saw the parade, or if you missed the parade completely, guess what? You can watch the whole entire parade on the Happening Out television network on all your smart televisions, or you can also go to YouTube. Okay, so if you love one of these organizations, if you want to see Edward without a shirt, just fast forward to the Pride Line stuff. Okay, but it's a fun time. Put it in the background while you're cleaning your house. All right, trust me, you'll be running back and looking. Oh, the Mr. Boys. Oh, the boys. Oh.
And so many of them are as sweet as they are pretty.
And last year, I really missed our drag queens. I really missed our drag queens last year. So to see them as part of the parade in full force was
that's
just
a really good point. Because last year was the big brouhaha.
People were afraid. People were. Let's be real. Organizations were afraid. They didn't know what to do.
That's a big deal.
You know,
that was huge.
So and we can't have Pride without our drag queens.
No, they're such a huge part of our community.
Part of our history.
Part of our history.
Really a part of our
history.
history.
Always remember, right? Stonewall started with a protest.
That's right.